It is midweek, hump day, and my best friend knows that I'll be up in the gym just working on my fitness. What's up, bestie?
I'm your
Welcome to the Inner
witness.
Circle She's my witness. Welcome to the Inner Circle Podcast, everyone. It is we're well into January. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? We started this year. I know you wanted this year to start. We were together this past weekend. How are you?
We were. I'm good. I'm really good. This has been a great week so far. And last this weekend that just passed was fun. We got to go somewhere we've always wanted to go for a hot
For
minute
years you've been talking about this place.
for years. And it was a little hole in the wall, but I love it. It's like very like traditional New York City burger joint.
Tell people the name of it in case they're in New York and they want to go.
So the name of the restaurant is Corner Bistro. It's between uh 12th Street and 8th Avenue on Greenwich Village, or well, West Village. It's a little burger joint that has like good beer, good food. Um, the way that like remember it is from watching it in No Reservations with Anthony Bourdain
Mm.
and on the Travel Channel. And I know recently, not recently, but on many occasions, Andy Cohen has mentioned it because he lives around the corner. Many times we've run into him. But it was a cute little dinner date, or not dinner, lunch date.
Yeah, it was
Did you
fun. I
like it?
definitely enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it. You definitely taste the quality, the difference. When you
Yeah.
bite into the burger, you definitely taste the quality of the meat. You
Hmm.
can definitely tell the difference. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, can you tell?" Yes, there is a difference in quality in the meat, and it was so good. Not uber expensive either. But
Yeah.
for me, it was a little difficult because it was the first weekend going out, and I'm doing dry January.
Oh
I got
yeah.
my little mocktail right here. It looks like what is it? A mojito, but it's not. It's a
What is
mocktail.
it?
It's a mocktail. Lemonade with mint leaves. I threw mint leaves.
Mine's is lemon water, like tons of lemon.
So yeah, so it was a little difficult. Then Sunday I went to church like a good church boy.
Come
Um
on, sober Sammy and
yeah,
Church Charlie.
listen. So I went to church and I went to brunch, and again it was difficult because it's like I went to a spot that usually has some amazing drinks, but getting it out the way, finally going out and doing dry January. Now I know
Hmm.
I can make it. I'm excited. It's just I love challenging myself, and I'm really excited about this challenge. I was even telling you how I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
No coffee
I
either. I'm not
Dry
doing
January
coffee.
to me doesn't matter because I don't really drink like
You're
that
not a big fan.
anyway. The only thing, like, if I had to give up coffee, I don't drink coffee on a regular basis, but I do find sometimes when I get headaches, it's probably because I'm caffeine deprived. But I can go weeks without drinking coffee,
Yeah, well, I've stopped that. I've been doing green tea, and it just feels
which
good. It
is
just feels good
healthier.
to challenge yourself, and I'm excited to like go this month and then continue it with different challenges after this month.
I have a challenge for you. I think you should finish dry January and then continue on and then finally have your first drink on your birthday,
Listen,
end of February.
that's what
That would be a great goal.
that was
Think about it.
suggested to me. That was suggested to me, but then Valentine is coming up,
So
so
you don't need to drink for Valentine's Day.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But February is short, so we'll go by like this. If I could do dry January, the top like 31 days, I could do more. We'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see. But it's funny enough that we're talking about dry January and being sober and being healthier because today, um, back in December, we had some polls. You know, we love to put polls, write them
Hmm.
polls, vote on them polls. And we put some of the categories that people voted for that they would like to see on the podcast, especially in 2023, is more nutrition and healthy lifestyle talk. So funny enough, you guys voted and we deliver. We have special guest today. He's online online and nutrition coach. He's also competed in men's physique and classic physique. We were there for one of them. Let's welcome our
Hmm.
special guest. We've been talking about this for a little bit and we finally made it happen. So let's welcome our special guest, Javier, to the show. What's going on, dude?
What's going
Welcome.
on, guys? Thank you for having me.
course, our pleasure. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're good. We're good. Javier, like it's the top of the year, right? You've been into nutrition and bodybuilding and competitions for a while. We're gonna into all of that. But for the people that don't know, people watching now or listening after, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Javier. I'm from the Bronx, Bronx, New York.
Look it down,
Um,
Bronx.
um, I got into fitness after actually getting injured, and you guys were there for that as well. I got into altercation in the city. I got stabbed, unfortunately, and I had lost all like power in my right arm. And through physical therapy and a friend who wanted to train me to get me to rehab, I started seeing all the changes in my body, and I felt like I could, keep it going, and I did. So once I started seeing those results, I'm like seeing what potential I had and getting the validation from different people, from the gym, from friends, from family. Some people actually recommended I try competing, and from there, it's all history. Like I found my passion. It is now what I do, online fitness coaching and nutrition coaching. So it's been a big part of my life, fitness, health, and fitness. Yeah,
It's so funny that you do. It's so funny that you brought up the incident that happened to you that pushed you to doing this because I thought about it earlier, but I'm like, should I bring that up? Would it
yeah,
be too much, too touchy to talk about? How was it? Because I was thinking about it to myself. I'm like, that's a traumatic
it
experience.
very much is. Yeah.
Like I was thinking about all the gun shootings and going on, and I'm like, but even getting stabbed, that is a traumatic, experience. Like, explain that. Like,
For months after, maybe even longer than that, maybe I would say even years. Um, the altercation happened when the gentleman bumped into me and continued to bump into me until he pushed past me. So for a while, that was very much a trigger for me. Like if someone would bump into me, like I would clench up and just like be on like fight or flight mode.
mm,
So it's very much a traumatic experience, and I hate, like, even to this day. Maybe it might be like a Bronx thing, but just like having someone walk behind me is like it's alert. Like I'm just like, no, you got to
yeah,
go past me.
same.
I just don't like it. So because like I got stabbed from the back, so it was very much traumatic. But honestly, I don't look at it as a negative thing. It actually transformed my life for the better. It happened when I was 22. After that, I started, going to the gym, and I started seeing the level of discipline I actually did have, and that discipline transferred to college. I graduated summa cum laude, top of my class. It transferred to my work ethic. So I honestly it's weird to say, but I'm actually grateful that happened to me. It could have been worse for sure. So, I'm blessed in that regard, but it transformed my life for the better. I'm really happy that it did because, it opened my eyes.
So you started going to the gym because you get into the gym, but obviously you wasn't competing right away.
No.
What was you know what were some of the way? What started first? You started going to the gym, training with friends and stuff.
Mhm.
What made you go the competition way?
So I had a gym partner who was very like committed, just as much as I was. If not, he probably was more committed. Researching different like bodybuilders to follow, different like regiments, workout regiments, but also like nutrition regiments, and just testing things out. And we're both seeing results. We're both very competitive people in nature. So he thought of competing, and he's like, "Yo, let's do it." So I figured I'll do it with him, but then he backed out. But at that point, I was already committed. I was already like, all right, we're going for this. And I did it. I got second place in my first competition. I was like 23. So this was like a year and change after the incident. But then I also didn't have any like gym partners who were that invested in training or that invested in fitness. So it took me another 4 years before I stepped on stage again. And with my now gym partner, Giuseppe, if you're listening, Giuseppe, thank you. He just lit that flame again in me. And honestly, like I don't see myself not doing it, or at least for sure, like let's say stop competing because it does take a lot out of you, and we could get to that in a minute. But I don't see me stopping what I do now at all. Like this is such a big part of my life, and I don't see how I would stop because it's health.
It's a lifestyle.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
No, it's true. It's true. Now we're gonna get to know you a little deeper, Jim West, because Melanie, our gaming girl, she has a quick game for you. Actually, yeah, she has a game for you, and I have a game for you too, because it's
Uh-huh.
gonna go deeper into how we three know each other. But
Okay,
Melanie, let's get into your game.
bring it
Come
on.
on, game
So
girl.
so the first game we're gonna play, we love to play this or that. So you're
Mhm.
gonna choose from two options. This is the fitness edition.
Okay, let's do it.
Just for you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So this or that, gym or outdoors?
Gym.
Burpees or squats?
Squats.
Really?
Yeah, I hate
That's
burpees. Burpees are
shocking.
the worst. Oh my god.
I thought you hated
I
squats,
do,
but
but there's worse things, and burpees is one of them.
all right. Strength or cardio? I know the answer.
Strength.
You hate
Cardio is my
cardio.
enemy. Thank you.
Yeah.
You listen?
I remember
I hate it.
from the little times, the little sessions I've had, Pilates or yoga?
Yoga.
Protein shake or protein bar?
Shake.
Jump rope or jumping jacks?
Jump rope. I think it's a little more fun. Boxers do
Dumbbells or kettlebells?
dumbbells.
CrossFit or boxing?
Boxing. No one respects CrossFitters. I'm sorry to say. It's not me. I have nothing against it. You do what whatever tickles your pickle. But nah, I would honestly prefer boxing. It's also tougher.
Yeah. Group or solo?
You mean as far as like training?
Yeah.
Solo.
I would beg to differ from all the pictures you put. It's always in a group. Rowing or treadmill?
Rowing or treadmill? Treadmill.
Leg day or arm day?
Leg day. You
All
can't.
right, last one.
Exactly, Charlie. Why you look at me like that? Leg day. You gotta have some pride in your legs.
No, yeah.
It's
I've
just
gotten into
fun.
my legs. The recent years, I've started putting more love into my legs, but
Yeah, because a lot of guys I've noticed they don't really like to do leg day.
It's hard.
Like
It's
they're
the most
all this
taxing.
and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
little.
That triangle thing.
Yeah, not a good look. All right, last but not least, planks or crutches?
Crutches.
Crunches.
Crunches. Planks are
Crunches.
hell. Like a minute planks, no matter how conditioned you are, it's still tough.
all right. Well, there you go. This or that. You did it. You did it. Fitness edition. Now, you're an online and nutrition coach. So we evolved, and congratulations on that because
Thank
again,
you.
we going back to when we first met. You got into
You want to tell them how we met?
we'll
Please.
get there. We'll get there. But
Oh.
you're doing now nutrition and online coaching. Tell us what made you go that route and want to help.
So this actually happened. I would say in the midst of COVID. Everyone was working remote and everything like that, and I was working at a nonprofit organization, and things were really just bad there, just like organizational wise, and I wasn't being supported like mentally because all that was happening with the world. I was going to therapy, but I just wasn't receiving that level of support that I felt like I needed, and I needed to find an out. Of course, I could have looked for another job, but with things being so critical with the world and just looking for employment elsewhere probably would have been another obstacle. So I figured, let me lean into my passions. And I know of many people who are doing fitness coaching and stuff, and it's something I'm very much passionate about. I've been doing it for 10 years, so I feel like I had the experience to meet the credentials, and I figured why not just bet on me. And it was also during the time where everyone was talking about entrepreneurship and just owning your own business and stuff, and or just having multiple sources of income. So I figured why not give it a shot, and I started while I was working at my nonprofit, and after 3 months of seeing clients, my clientele build up, the work that was involved in it was seeming very much practical. I saw that I could actually live off the online coaching, so I decided let's do it. So after 3 months, I saw that I can do it. So I'm like, all right, I gave my 2-week notice, and I've been doing it for the past 2 years.
Nice. Now, what are some of it must be difficult, even at being a teacher, anything that when you're teaching, you try to be patient as a teacher. Teachers are
Yeah.
supposed to be patient, right? But there's times where we are like, woosah, and
Uh-huh.
want to shake your student. How do you deal with your clients, especially because at the end of the day, you're trying to help them, right?
Yes.
Like how for as your, let's say a teacher, the trainer, how do you work? What's your mantra to keep them on track, but also keep yourself sane? Because
Well,
sometimes you can tell people do this, that, but then they don't follow their diet, etc. So how do you deal with that?
It's understanding that we're all human, everyone has needs, traditions, habits that we're all dealing with. So understanding that, and I'll try to meet them there also. We have new parents, new moms, dads, people who are in and out of jobs. This was also during COVID and it's still happening somewhat to this day. And understanding these are not, this is not everyone's priority. It's my priority because it's my business and it's my livelihood, but it's not their priority. So understanding that, not trying to add any additional pressure that they don't need on top of that, because this is very much new to most people. When you're going to the gym, especially during this time, it's New Year's, right? A lot of people who are going now are foreign to the workouts or to the equipment, so they don't know what to do and they don't know how to get started essentially. So one of the things I try to do when it comes to just like motivating my clients is when we first talk, we talk about their goals. And why they have these goals. Of course, let's say if you want to lose weight, like why do you want to lose weight? To feel more confident. Okay, confidence is the thing. Okay, great. And just building that confidence or building you know, their goals or like their focus around that. So that way, when they're falling off, you could just bring back, hey, didn't you want to lose weight? Or hey, didn't you want to be more confident? This is what's going to help you. And like I said, it's not adding so much pressure, but also kind of pressure. Like some people need that push, and that's why people come to coaches or to anyone who's trying to teach them or consult them. It's because like they need that additional support, that second opinion, that someone who's going to push the dial up a bit. Like, okay, you need to do more, and let's do more.
Now, it's a new year, so I'm sure you have a lot of people asking you questions and maybe hitting you up and stuff. A lot of people are trying to get into either a healthier lifestyle. We all have our resolutions, right? Look
Mhm.
at me, dry January.
I heard.
What are
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. What are some of the common mistakes people make when it comes to dieting and starting a new year, new me diet?
I like to think one of the mistakes people do are they go on too much of the extremes, like all in or all out, right? So let's say if they're going to the gym for the first time, they're gonna like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go to the gym every day. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z every day, and that's a lot, especially if you're starting from zero. So my recommendation, especially for my clients who are just starting, is start slow. Just get into the groove of things. So yeah, they start in the extreme. So either they go every day, and then let's say they get sore, or just the schedules aren't aligning anymore. Then they just stop because they just don't have the time. And it's like, yeah. So those extremes are definitely the things that are going to hurt them rather than help them. Other extremes, or not necessarily other extremes, but other things that may be hindering somebody is just like not starting. Like you're nervous. Sometimes people are just like they have anxiety because like they're subconscious. They don't want to go into the gym and have people look at them. And most of the time, you're actually going to find people who are most likely going to support you at the gym than you are going to see someone who's going to like bother you. So just getting started, or just trying to get the ball rolling is really one of the things that I try to push. 3 days a week is just fine. You don't have to go crazy, and then build that momentum going forward.
It's so true about the gym because going back to when I was younger, that was a fear. Like, oh, people are gonna watch me and look at me. To be honest, you hit it. You're right. Either people are going to help you, or people are just minding their own business.
They have their
Especially
own
in New
business.
York, so
Yes.
fucking focused. Where
Yes.
it's like, ain't no one paying attention to you. Trust me. And if
Yeah.
anything is like, are you done with that
Exactly.
with that machine, please? Like, I gotta go. Like, let's keep it
Exactly.
moving. Like, no one's really judging, but I could see how people feel that way because I felt
Mhm.
that way when younger. But anyone watching, listening to this, don't
You're
worry
good.
about being what. Like, ain't no one cares. Like,
In the,
go,
the
go.
fitness community is probably because like we compete. I'm sorry, I compete too, and even the people who are competing against each other are giving you like props, like, oh my god, bro, your shoulders, oh my god, your abs are crazy, like. So I feel like the fitness community is probably one of the most supportive communities there is, because they know what it is to start from zero and grind and grind and grind, and how hard it is to keep that level of discipline or that motivation going. And if they seeing you 4 or 5 times a week, and they're seeing you pushing yourself, they're gonna definitely gravitate towards you and support you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I want to get into one of the what a big mistake also that people do is start the gym, but the diet.
Oh yes.
So we're gonna get into that and chat
Mhm.
about that. But really quick, because we spoke about it at the beginning of the show. How do us three know each other? Well, it goes back. All roads lead to Forever 21. Forever 21 on 34th Street. Damn, I'm really getting detail where we worked and everything. It's
Hell,
closed now. It's not there. So if you try to go there, you won't see it. But yeah, that's where we all basically met. With that being said, we were in the what is it, the industry, the fashion industry
fashion
or
industry.
the retail world. We
Uh-huh.
were in the
Retail
retail world.
world.
The Golden Globes were yesterday, Javier. So seeing how that's how we met, we're gonna put you on the spot,
Oh no.
Mr. Joan Rivers. We have some looks here. We have some looks here, and we want it's either gonna be a keep it or shred it. These are some of the
Okay, I
beautiful
love these.
And last night,
I always do your polls when you do these too.
I knew you would enjoy this. So here you go, just for you. Keep it or shred it. Let's pretend we have Forever 21 and these stars are looking for an outfit.
All
It
right.
wouldn't be
Not
Forever
Forever
21, but
21.
it wouldn't
You
be
do
Forever
Boohoo.
21, but yeah. But first up, we have Angela Bassett, who won her first Golden Globe in 29 years since she's been in the business. Here she is. Keep
I
it
say
or
keep
shred
it.
it,
Keep it.
Keep it.
right? And Mama's looking good. Isn't she
She
like
is
50 something? Oh my
amazing for
She's
God.
her
like
age. I
over
don't even see that,
50.
but like amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, I fell in love with her even more because of Wednesday,
And
Jenna Ortega.
I say keep it.
Keep
I
it
say
cute.
shred it.
I knew you would.
You
What
know
do you think,
why?
Shirley?
Because the color doesn't go with her skin tone. It's making her super pale. And additionally, the like long trail is making her look shorter than she is. So no, it doesn't
No, I like
elongate
it.
her.
I like the cutouts in her
I,
stomach.
that was mine.
Selena
They shred
Gomez.
it.
Keep it or shred it. Shred it.
See, I
You have
keep
your own opinion. You have to keep it.
I
Shred it, Javier.
Shred it.
Shred it.
I'm sticking
All
to it.
right.
I was shred it
Next,
too.
Shred it.
Niece.
Niecy
Niecy Nash.
Nash.
Niecy
Yeah,
Nash.
I say shred
I
it.
like it. If you take off that little thing that she has, I think she
Yeah,
will
that
look
might be
great.
killing it for me.
Yeah, I would say keep it.
Up next, here we go with a guy, Eddie Murphy.
Keep it.
Classic.
You look,
Keep
yeah,
it.
Classic,
exactly. Looks like he's going to a funeral though, but yeah.
right? There was a few other guys that just wore that straight black, and I'm like, everyone's just like, but a guy or a queen who switched it up. He always does on the red carpet. Billy Porter, keep it or shred it.
Hmm.
Lord.
Uh, I say shred it.
Keep-
You like
Um,
it?
Yeah.
the trail is fine. Keep it. Whatever. It's better than whatever he wore
Come
the
on,
last
keep,
award show.
keep.
My man,
Keep
Colin
it because I
Farrell.
love him.
He looks good.
Keep it. Yeah, keep it, right? I like this one, yeah. And we would never let down that story when we sat right next to him on
In the movie
34th
theaters,
Street when
right?
we went to the movies, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
remember.
didn't
Right
remember
next
this.
to
That
him.
is
Yeah,
hilarious.
I'm telling you stories. Just the way.
Literally like 2 seats over, he was in the same row. And last
Hmm.
but not least, Jennifer Coolidge.
I say
She
keep it. She
looks
could definitely
great.
done better though, but I say keep.
No, she's awesome. I love her. She's an icon. We love her. Keep it.
Keep it.
What is this Stifler's mom? And there you go. Keep it or shred it. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
well.
So Forever 21. I was like, do you ever look back like for people like and think like where you came from, where you started, where you at now? Like,
All the
how
time.
is that for you?
All the time. Every experience has helped me get to where I am now. Like with understanding fashion and how to present myself. You know, Melanie's helped me with that as well. After
Sure have.
see, yes. After that, I started working in a nursing home. So I started working in the dietary department, which relates to similar to what I do now. Following that, I started working at a nonprofit organization, helping families with low income families finding work, finding helping them with health insurance and stuff like that, and just finding public assistance and stuff. So everything's helped me get to where I am now. So I honestly look back mostly with gratitude. For sure, there's some regrets and some cringy moments, but yeah, even for 21, it was a great memory.
You
Great memory.
gotta give yourself a pat and like how far you come. But now back to nutrition and dieting. We were talking about going to the gym. People, okay, let's go to the gym. But what people don't understand, and I want you to tell people the percentage rule. You know
Yeah,
the
got it.
percentage rule,
Yes.
right? So let's talk about that because this is a big mistake people do. They start the gym, but food, the diet is still trash.
So, in the percentage thing you're talking about, let's just start off with that. So, they say that fitness is 30%, gym is 30% of your results, 70% will be from nutrition. Now, that's a big difference. That means that no matter what you do in the gym, if your diet is not up to par, you're not going to see the results you want to see, not the quality you want to see it. And there's also the saying, you cannot outwork a bad diet, and that's very much true. You see this when people who are on, who are strict on their diets throughout the week, and on the weekends they go crazy, and they're not seeing the results they want to see. That's because on the weekends it's offsetting the entire work they've done for the week. So when it comes to the nutrition and gym, you can actually still see results. I mean, not muscle growth wise, but let's say if you wanted weight loss or even growth, if you just focus on nutrition, you will still see those results. But that won't necessarily happen if you're just focusing on the gym. So having those two coupled together is super beneficial, super necessary.
Um, what? So you in part of what you do though, you're not only training them, working out online, but you also doing the nutrition. So
I
how
do.
with your business, how does that work? Is it like a deal package? Is it
So
one?
I have a fitness app. It's called Trainerize. And with that, it allows me to set up my clients with training programs, whether it's 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever they prefer. And it allows me to see their workouts, so I can see how much they lift, how many days they went for the week, how much cardio they did. And in addition to the training aspect, I also input a nutrition plan. My nutrition plan is two parts. So there's the macros, which is your proteins, your carbs, and your fats, which overall will get to your calories, whether you're in a surplus or in a deficit. And then on the bottom, to match the macros, I also give them a sample meal plan. So that way they can just take out the guessing work on, oh, how much do I eat? How much chicken do I eat? How much rice do I eat? It's all laid out there for you. So that way there's little guesswork needed. The only thing they need to do is just follow it. And I try to also include both of them, both the macros and the nutrition, the meal plan on the bottom, because some people like flexibility. There are people who like to go out on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, for example. So if you're just eating your meal plan and you're not having any kind of flexibility or any kind of like variety, you're not really going to like it, and you most likely not going to adhere to it. So having some flexibility is helpful when you want to adhere to it, because you want to spice it up.
You know what I find interesting? For me, I must be like completely opposite, but like I prefer to eat healthier on the weekend or towards the end of the week than I do earlier in the week. Maybe because I'm not, well, now I am, but like I wasn't meal prepping as much.
Hmm.
And like after work, the last thing I want to do is start cooking.
Yeah.
So I think I have way more time on the weekend than I do like working after 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or whatever, and then going to a work event. I just want to go out to dinner.
And that's
So
yeah.
how does meal prepping play a role in the whole fitness
It
situation?
it allows you to have what you need accessible for that time, right?
Hmm.
So and you said it really well. During the weekends we usually have a lot more time, with ourselves for the day. I actually use that to set myself up for the week. So like on Sundays, maybe I've done some grocery shopping early in the day. I spend 3-4 hours cooking my food. I have a crock pot, I have an air fryer. The air fryer
Air
has
fryers
changed my
are
life. Air
best.
fryers have changed my life. A
We're in our
crock pot, air
30s, you can
fryer,
tell.
and a rice cooker. So all these are just super useful tools, and I recommend anyone who's like trying to get into like just meal prepping or just like overall just healthy eating to have the tools necessary to help them in getting themselves ready. So crock pot, air fryer, 3 hours of cooking. I put everything in like family style, so I have like just containers of just all chicken, container of all rice, container of veggies. And if you want to also add, let's say, steak or sweet potatoes or whatever the case is, just varieties, you could just pick what you need, pack it, or sorry, store it, pack it, and get your day started. Luckily, I work from home, so I could just pick out what I need, put it in the microwave right here, and eat it. But definitely having your meal prepped help you in just like having those accessible, especially if you're not someone who like wants to cook every meal every day,
Right.
each time. Me, I'm eating 6 meals a day. So can you imagine me having to go to the
Oh my
stove, cook
goodness.
each meal one by one?
I
Y'all
seen
want
all
to
your
know a funny
chickens the other
story?
day at the store.
You want to know a funny story about Javier? I'm about to put you on the spot, and I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
that's what we're here
There
for.
was a lot years ago, and I'm pretty sure you still do this to this day. I guess we all hung out with friends or something, and we went to a restaurant. Javier comes with a little lunch bag of his meal preps. Everyone ordered food, and he's still eating his meal preps, watching everyone eating
Ah, that's
burgers and
I don't
patience,
see
eating.
a
man.
problem. I say that's discipline.
No, and I find that that's very. I was
Thank
gonna
you.
say that's
Thank you.
super disciplined.
I
That's
thought you were coming at
awesome.
me.
No, I wasn't. I just thought it was hilarious. He came with his little Dora the Explorer lunchbox.
Listen,
Speaking of discipline, you put something earlier when we was chatting prior to the show about progressive and stress overload.
yes.
And I'm like, I want him to elaborate on this
Yeah.
because I'm someone who likes challenges.
Good. Good.
But the idea that if you don't challenge yourself, you won't change yourself. Let's talk
So
about
yeah,
that.
so that's actually a quote I like to use with my clients. If you don't challenge yourself, you don't change yourself. So idea with progressive or stress overload. Let's just talk with training for one first. The idea is that if you're not, challenging your body, if your body is not stressed within like the workout, so like if you're doing lightweight, you're not really going to see the results you want to do. You have to go almost to failure within your workouts to to see the results. Now, when you're working out, you're breaking your muscle fibers apart, right? So let's say you're doing like 50 pounds on the bicep curl, you're breaking the biceps and it's recovering over time. Let's say during your rest period, but also when you're resting, like not training at all, it's recuperating, it's recovering, it's getting stronger, right? So if you're doing the 50 pounds, you're doing that, whatever. Let's say you do that for a month, you saw great results. That's when people start to see plateaus. They're starting to see like, okay, like I'm doing the same workouts I have been doing before. How come I'm not seeing the same results? It's because your body's been adapting this entire time to the workouts you've been doing, and now that it's at a place where it's comfortable, you need to bring it to a place where it's not no longer comfortable. Maybe by increasing the weight. That's the most common people do to add stress or progressive overload, increasing the load. There's many other ways. There's tempo, there's slowing down your lift while you're lifting. There's decreasing your rest periods. There's pausing and stuff like that. So there's definitely different ways to mix things up to challenge yourself. But the idea, if you don't challenge yourself, you don't change yourself. It's true because your body's like an adapting machine. It's constantly trying to adapt to what you're doing, and the same for nutrition. So like that's when people are also like staying still on the weight scale or just not seeing the results that we're trying to see. Let's say if you're currently 200 pounds and you're trying to cut down to 170 or 180, and you're stuck at, let's say, 190, you've lost 10 pounds and you want to lose another 5, another 10, you would have to change up your meal plan to come down lower because your body's been adapting or cutting to that certain point. It's come down to 190. It's stuck here eating your 4 meals a day. Now you need to cut down. You can still have those 4 meals, but you're gonna have to cut what's in the meals. Maybe it's carbs, maybe it's fats. But if you're not, like I said, if you're not challenging yourself, you're not gonna change yourself because that's the only way you're actually gonna see it. And the same can be thought about when you're going to school, right? You're doing math problems and you're knowing your additions. You know your additions, you know all that stuff, but now you're adding multiplication. Like that's a challenge. Okay, that's how you learn and keep adapting and keep progressing.
Now, it could be very challenging and a lot of information,
Yeah.
macros, all this stuff, especially for a new client, someone new getting into this. You have a format. What is this format that you give to your clients and new people?
Format in what?
The format for your clients,
Like,
the
Oh,
kiss
Kiss.
format.
You got it. Kiss. Keep it super simple. That could go for nutrition and also training. Let's say for nutrition, keep it super simple. Eating foods you like. For sure, you're gonna need to have some kind of portion control. As long as you have your proteins, which are your meat source, you know your chicken, your eggs, your beef, your fish, uh, or even your shakes. That's for muscle growth and muscle recovery from your workouts. As long as you're having your carbs are your fast energy sources. It could be complex or simple. Complex is like your starchy foods, your rice, your oats, your noodles,
bread.
bread. Yeah, there you go. Those are your body's source of energy, which is why when typically people go on low carb diets, they're tired, lethargic, and grumpy. And then when they have it again, they're like, "Oh my god, I love this!" And your body really does respond to it. And your simple carbs are your sugars, which, interesting enough, Netflix has explained on it. It just goes into different type of topics, and there was an explained episode on sugar, and it explains that were programmed to seek out sugar because when we were hunter gatherers and stuff like that, sugar was in the fruits that we had and stuff. So it was what we survived off of for the most part. So when people are depriving themselves of carbs, they're essentially depriving themselves of something they were instinctually craving or seeking out as our ancestors. So that's proteins, that's carbs, and then there's fats, which is like your oils, your nuts, and that's your body's hormone regulators. You know, like you have estrogen, testosterone, endorphins, your happy hormone. So by depriving yourself of fats, you're depriving yourself of these things that are regulating your body.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So with Kiss, the idea is just enjoy the foods you eat. So if you like chicken, if you like potatoes, eat those things. If you like beef, for sure, like there may be some like concern when it comes to like red meats, but I encourage you to eat the things you like because that's what's going to help you adhere to the diet and be consistent with it.
That's
And
what
this,
I did with bread.
see,
I
yeah, you
love
know,
bread. If I don't eat bread, I get bitchy. But
mhm.
I change the bread. Like I'm not getting like white or honey wheat. Like I now get, I don't know if you know Dave's Killer Bread.
I've
They
heard of it.
have like, it's one, it's very expensive, but also
Okay,
it's very organic and it's very like healthy.
yeah.
So I get that.
Charlie,
So I
Everything's
still
what's
have
your
it.
organic
guilty
now.
pleasure?
My guilty pleasure, it changes.
I'll tell you. He loves pork rinds. He loves bacon.
Oh,
He loves shrimp.
okay.
What
I
else
could
do you
take
No, no,
that.
like?
no. You eat more shrimp than I do. The bacon and
I
pork
like
rinds, okay.
seafood.
But
Seafood,
you definitely
classy.
be eating more shrimp than I do. I don't eat shrimp. I eat shrimp, but
That's
you
a
love
lie.
shrimp. No, I'm not saying I don't eat shrimp. I eat shrimp, but you're the
When
one.
was the last time you had shrimp? He has shrimp salads. Is that healthy?
Yeah, sure.
It's just the
Sure.
Depends on the
shrimp, the
It's
amount.
not your
The
cholesterol.
amount.
cholesterol.
It's the
Depends.
amount
Yeah.
of thing. It's just the cholesterol that the shrimp has. Even today, I ordered a new protein thing, and the cholesterol in one of them, I'm like, no way, I'm not getting
Wow.
this one just because of cholesterol. So I switched it to
Hmm.
this other thing. But speaking of foods, because foods are an impact on your moods and all that stuff,
Absolutely.
and it all ties into mental health as well. Mental health
I'm
is
glad you
such a
mentioned that.
big yes. Mental health is such a big thing right now, and we here at the Inner Circle Podcast, I'm telling you, you could go back. We are big advocates for mental health, and let's talk about how does first of all fitness help mental health, but also let's talk about how certain foods will help you, but the certain foods will also keep you
Hurt you.
in a depressive, not a depressive mode, but in in a certain rut area.
Yeah.
The difference between when you eat a good meal one day, like a nice salad, something healthy, or you have McDonald's that night, then you wake
Mhm.
up the next day. Let's talk about this stuff.
Okay, I've actually had that experience. Not necessarily McDonald's, but like fatty foods. My mom went away for a week, and I was like early 20s. And she had left a pork loin, a big good pork loin in the fridge. And for Monday, whatever, okay, whatever I did, why Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I've had pork loin every day, like at least 2, 3 times a day. And by Monday, I felt so sluggish and like, bleh. Come to find out that pork is really high in fat, which I'm sure is related to that. But to your topic, eating like hearty light meals, versus heavy fatty meals, and your body's response to that, it's a thing for sure. Especially if you've been so consistent. So let's say if you've gone without eating like fast food for, let's say, 6 months, and you have that McDonald's, your big McDonald's meal, you're gonna feel that for sure because you've gone without for so long, and your body's been so adjusted to the clean eating, the lean food, firing on all cylinders. Because when you have light meals, your body's able to digest that and feel lighter. You will feel good and light. And then when you have that heavy meal, fried food, whatever the case is, you're gonna feel that as well. Like I can't have
Straight
fried
to the
food at all.
crapper.
I can't have food. Can't have fried food at all, and it sucks because sometimes there's fried shrimp, for example, or fried calamari, and it's like I gotta peel all that off because my body just can't take it.
Oh wow.
How did you do during the holidays,
I do
food
pretty
wise?
well, with the exception of like, well, I don't drink that much, but
Yeah.
I definitely try to partake during the holidays because normally when I get into my competition prep, like I'm living in a bubble, and it's for better
We
for
know.
worse. Yeah, right. Sorry.
We have experience with
I
that.
appreciate all you guys have done to support me. But for sure, you're living in a bubble because you can't really drink. You can't drink at all. You can't really go out like that because you're gonna be tempted to eat, or even so, even if you did go out, you can't really stay out that late because you're on a timeline. You want to make sure you're resting because when you're resting, you're recovering from the workouts. And the longer you stay out, the hungrier you're gonna be, and you've already had your sixth meal at 10 o'clock, and it's already 2, and you're hungry. Like, all right, you know what? I can't stay out that late. So I try to take advantage of the holidays as much as I can, or up until, let's say, February this year, because I know for sure when the competition prep comes in, I'm not doing any of
Tell us
Yeah, the
about. Go ahead.
competition prep is rigorous.
that.
Tell us. Speaking of competition, how is it? I mean, Melanie has been there. How is it competing? How tough is it? I've seen some of my brothers as well
Yes,
compete. It could be
congratulations to
very
them.
tough. You here
Look
goes
at
one pick.
me.
Hey,
Yeah, here goes
Look
a
at
pick of
me.
at one of your competitions. You won there. There's like
yes,
what else? 2 awards.
the
I see
first.
Not
that.
me holding the award like I
Right,
won.
yeah, right. First place and overall. That's the one I won that time.
Hmm.
Nice.
I
So
actually
we
did
were
that
that
same
was in
competition
Connecticut.
last year and won the same first place and overall again. I had to go for a 2 for 2.
There you go. That deserves an applause. That deserves an
Let's hear it.
applause. Congrats,
Thank
man.
you guys. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
it
So
was really
yeah,
cool.
That was actually fun. We actually showed up as a surprise
I loved it.
to
Yeah, it was
support.
amazing. Yeah,
You stuffed your face with tons of sushi
sushi,
afterwards.
right?
Afterward, yeah, I
Rightfully
remember.
so.
Yeah, I
I think
remember
that
that.
I saw firsthand as a friend all the things you endured and all the situations you had to like restrict yourself from mentally, physically, emotionally. So it was a
Yeah.
good time for us to go and support.
Thank you. And I appreciate the
I
support.
felt it was great to see all the guys too. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
I'm sure. I'm sure.
for me and Charlie, it was
But
great.
to answer your question, Charlie, how is it? It's actually goes against what my advice was. Like it's on the extremes, right? Everything has to be accounted for. Your cardio has to be accounted for. How many calories you're burning. Your meals have to be on point for that timeline. And normally you're competing. Your prep is anywhere from 12 weeks to 16 weeks, like 3 to 4 months. So for those 3 to 4 months, you're trying to be on point with everything. You're dialing in on your workouts. You're trying to make sure you're emphasizing the areas that you want to strengthen, and also making sure your weaknesses are also being like paying attention to. Um, there's the practicing of posing, which is another thing. When you mentioned classic physique, the difference between men's physique and classic physique is the classic physique has way more posing involved. So you had to really be on point with that, trying to hide your weaknesses and show your strengths. And you're going in there competing against 10 other people, 30 other people who are just as committed, just as disciplined as you are. So it's very like driving in that sense because you want to be the best and you're getting the best out of you. But the mental part of it, it's good the first, let's say, 2 months. That last month, when you're on low carbs, you're on an hour of cardio, you're training vigorously still. You can't see your friends like that. You can't go out like that. It's tough
You're
that last month.
cranky.
You're super. I'm sorry if you felt the bitter end of that. I'm so sorry, but it definitely happens. And I honestly, like, if you have competitive brothers, if you have competitive friends, honestly,
Yeah,
give
it's
them
true.
some grace because it's also mentally taxing. Like you said, you're not happy. You're on low carbs. You're not happy. You're tired. It's hell. But the day of the competition, that day is amazing, regardless of the results, regardless of your placing. You could be 11th place. You've taken the time to do 3 months of work to get
Mhm.
there. And I tell my friends who competed, and I tell people back there, like, yo, you're already a winner. How many people can say they can do this have this level of discipline, can step up on stage and put themselves out there like that? To place at all, it's a blessing, and I'm actually honored to have won the amount of competitions I've won. Let's hope I can do it again this year because I'm gonna try to go for my pro card. Whoo!
Got it.
That's
You got this.
awesome.
You
Thank
got
you.
this. Now you definitely got it. I mean, you to show. I think once you show that type of discipline in these type of competitions, like I feel people like that could put them anything you want and you really put your mind into, you could achieve. I feel like people like you, my brother Raymond, because look at my. I don't know if you know, but my brother became a cop. And that's grueling. So it's like I feel like certain like you guys, people that do this, like whatever you guys want that's grueling,
Mhm.
y'all could achieve if y'all just like put your mind into it and y'all
Thank you.
really want it, y'all will
Thank you.
achieve it. Now quick question. Is it like these competitions? Sometimes I wondered, is it like, the beauty pageants? The beauty pageants, you see them all high and all nice, but they be catty and all bitchy and stuff in the back. Is there any level of that with the men's competition?
No, I wouldn't say so. I try to isolate myself in like a little corner, whenever I get there. I try to get there early so I can get this spot by the charger so we can charge our phones and whatever. But no, like I said, like everyone's super supportive. And it's not to, like, to my own horn, but especially if you look good, people are gonna congratulate you or people are gonna like validate you, like, yo, bro, like your abs, bro, your shoulders. So I've received a lot of great support, and honestly, I give it just as much as I receive it because I know what it's like to have that sense of doubt or that like, I don't know if I got it, and someone tell me, bro, you're looking great. So it's very supporting back there. Even though we're going against each other, it might be like a little macho kind of support, like, yo, bro, I hope me and you aren't on the same stage because I'm gonna take it kind of thing. But there's also like, yo, it's all love.
I thought
Right.
it was gonna be like a Tanya Harding hitting on
Right.
the knee type of situation.
No,
But
no, no, no.
speaking of support, you mentioned that everyone is like it's like a brotherhood, I guess, and everyone's really sweet to each other and helpful and stuff, and they lift each other up. What about when you first started with this fitness online coaching? Did you have any mentors like guiding you in how to start your business?
So I've reached out to a lot of people who I may have seen doing it already. Brashfit, one of the dudes who runs Brashfit was it's like a
I
training.
remember.
Yeah, I picked his brain on it. And he actually is the one that recommended I use the training app I use, Trainerize. So I'm really thankful and that's what I'm saying. Like, people are super supportive because there's plenty of clients out there for everyone. Everyone can eat. So there's no gatekeepers, at least not in my experience. There's no gatekeepers trying to like prevent you from progressing because everyone wants the best for you. People who I used to train with or like see training at gyms around me are pretty friendly, and I'm picking their brain on best practices. Hey, how do you get your clients to do this when when they're having these issues? So this Laura from PRX, who's now doing her, who now has her own gym where I train at. Super supportive, and many of other people who are I can reach out right now on Instagram or Facebook, like, hey Ben, I was wondering if your gym has this and how much it charges and whatever the case is. So no, everyone's super supportive, and I've received a lot of the formats and like the how I've tailored my structure from people by picking their brain on and like seeing like, okay, how do you do your meal plan? Okay, let me see that. I like that idea. That this format, I'm gonna use that. How do you do your training programs? Oh, I like that idea. I never considered that. So it's a very supportive community, like
That's
from
awesome.
training,
I love to
from
hear that, man.
coaching. Yeah,
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. I'm like listening to you. I'm like, I'm so happy for you, dude.
It's
and I
good
I really
love.
because
am.
it can be when you're first starting into getting into your own business or any sort of like industry, it can be intimidating, but also it could be kind of like it makes you feel like maybe you don't have a chance
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
because there's so many people that have that background, fitness background, and they want to do the same thing as you. So it's good to see that you guys actually elevate each other as well.
Like you
Yeah,
said, there's clients out there for everyone. I love it.
everyone. Yeah. The only thing I say that I do need to get over is my own personal hurdle is just getting out of my head when it comes to like social media, like making like not posting something because there's something like I just don't like about it, like the quality may not be where I want it to be, or even comparing
You're a
myself to
perfectionist.
I yeah
You are a
it's a
perfectionist.
it helps me and it kind of kills me sometimes, but it's or just seeing compare myself to other fitness influencers and stuff like that, and it that definitely doesn't help me, but trying to get out of my own head with that and just put myself more out there has definitely helped because when I do, I see the feedback. I see people asking questions. I see people contact me for coaching. So it's just that. But as far as like how I'm connected to the community itself, everyone's super supportive, and I haven't had anyone so far. Let's knock on wood. Had any haters, anyone who's trying to like prevent me from reaching my best self. So everyone's pretty
and it,
solid.
and thank God. But if it happened, listen, water off a
Never
duck's back.
lost
You
one.
continue going because what's meant for you is meant for you.
That's
No
right.
matter what the haters have to do or what they want to throw out there. But listen, what are some just like we discussed, there's foods that will make you feel like shit, not help your mental health. But there's foods that will make you feel great. But believe it or not, there's foods and the gym also can help you in the bedroom and during
It
sexy
does.
time. There's so much benefits that people don't know about eating and even working out. It helps in the bedroom. So,
Bam, chicka, wow,
what are
wow.
some foods you recommend to enhance sexual stamina?
Sexual stamina. Well, your veggies will for sure probably be that. Red meat, if you believe it or not, steak for sure. Um, I would say just have hearty, heavy meals. Not heavy meals, but like hearty, full meals. Um, Typically because you also want the energy, like I said, with carbs and stuff. So um, when I say your veggies, like your greens too, because that's what fibers helps with your blood flow, blood pressure. And if you have high blood pressure, you're not gonna have a good erection, or you're not gonna have a good, any of all that stuff. So
Hmm.
I think having your veggies is gonna help you with the micro stuff. Like when it comes to macros, so your protein, carbs, and fats, that's the big stuff. But your micros, your minerals, your vitamins and stuff. So making sure you're including those veggies and fruits and fruits. Can't forget them.
Pineapple.
Yeah, but that's for different reasons.
Yeah,
But
that is. I was gonna
that's for
say, yeah, I
different
think that's for
reasons.
different reasons.
Yeah, and for
I was
sure
gonna say,
the gym definitely helps with your libido.
that's
For men, I mean women too. For training legs increases natural testosterone levels,
later.
and for sure training, getting your heart rate up, it allows you to be able to perform without having to take as much breaks or having any kind of problems there, erectile or otherwise.
You don't have to get the honey pack. Just go to the gym and pump those legs.
Yes,
Well, listen, Javier, we was talking about competition. We got another game for you. Our last game for you. This
let's
is a
hear it.
fun one that Melanie has for you. So, Melanie, take it away.
All right, so This one is going to be choose your workout partner. So
Okay.
I have it's basically this or that, but
Mhm.
you're choosing which celebrity you would like to work out with.
Figured I got it.
And going down this list, I was just like, oh my God. Like,
Can you already tell who
was
I'm gonna pick?
in my mind, I think I can because I've heard you mention these people before, like who's inspired you, but this is gonna be tough.
All right,
Are
let's
you
hear it.
ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So the first pick, Dwayne the Rock Johnson or Hugh Jackman.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I
Oh,
right there.
yeah.
That's actually a
That's
Favorite.
pretty good
easy.
setup, though.
Jason Momoa or Floyd Mayweather Jr.
I say Jason Momoa.
I feel like he will be joking around the whole time,
Yeah,
but
you
I
make it
can
enjoyable. I feel like I
I'll
don't.
train
I
him
never like like
anytime.
hockey for my personality.
Okay.
Who? Floyd?
Floyd, yeah.
Tukaki?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Cristiano Ronaldo or Michael Phelps. Oh wait, that's
Wrong for
wrong.
go ahead.
Yeah,
There we go. Ronaldo. I seen his legs.
I love
Oh
him.
yeah,
Legs,
yeah.
right? It's like,
That's
whoa.
crazy legs. That guy. I have seen his legs.
All right, the next one is Mark Wahlberg or Chris Pratt.
Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
I like Mark Wahlberg. He actually has a gym in his house, and
Yeah,
it's
he
huge.
does.
It's his own gym, and I
Mhm.
like his work ethic. He wakes up 4 o'clock in the morning, he goes to his training, does his thing. I'm like, I gotta follow that.
I just kept thinking of his
Feel the
Calvin Klein
vibration.
ads. Yeah. All right, Jason Strahan or Tom Brady. That is the wrong picture, sir.
There we go. With
So,
my glasses.
I'm gonna actually say Tom Brady, only because I feel like I
Ew.
can learn more, like endurance wise,
Actually, Jason
healing.
Strahan, like he's a mixed martial arts
Ooh, that changes
person.
things. I'm actually gonna go straight him.
Okay,
I
good
can learn a few
choice.
things there.
Next one, Terry Crews or Vin Diesel.
Terry Crews. Terry Crews
Yeah.
is ripped and brolic. Like I want to keep that, and for his age too. Like hell no,
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he
right?
like?
Hello, white chicks. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Last but not least, John Cena or Arnold
Come on,
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
I
I
know
go with
you were
the
gonna say
classic. How
Arnie.
could I not? Arnold is
Uh,
the pioneer of bodybuilding. There's so much I can learn from him.
for
Wasn't he like What's Mr. Olympia?
Mr. Olympia, you got it.
Yeah.
real.
Yeah,
She's like,
you
what's
got it.
this
See,
No,
all?
I know.
I'm actually
Listen,
proud.
I know a lot about fitness,
You do.
but it's just the application of it all.
Yeah,
But I know a lot.
I hear
I know
you.
a lot.
The application of it all. No, I mean, yeah, that was fun.
Thank you.
Where could the people go and find you if they, are you only doing New York clients? It is
I am.
online,
It
so it
is.
could be,
So for in-person training, I am strictly only able to do, whoever's within proximity of me. So that's New York, Bronx, New York, or if you're in the Upper Manhattan area from the Heights to Harlem, we'll be close enough to actually get together and train. But for my online coaching, to anyone in the United States, anyone in the world really, but for sure the United States because there's a language barrier. I only speak English, unfortunately. So
There's
that
Google
helps me.
Translate.
There is, but how can I? Because I love the call and the FaceTiming. So because it allows them to see me as a human and also like see the smiling and also allows me to see their reaction. Just to see like it's not like black and white. There's so much more color to it. There's so much more of a spectrum. So if they're able to hear me and see my enthusiasm, they're able to receive that energy and maybe help them in feeling more comfortable.
where could they find
I'm on
you?
Instagram. You could follow me on J underscore alpha.
And if you're watching, you can see it here in
It
the
might be
ticker.
missing one underscore, but yes, J
Oh,
underscore
it's two
underscore
underscore.
alpha. Yes. I'm on Twitter, but for sure, I'm primarily on Instagram. You can find me there. You could DM me if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to help. But before we go, I would like to actually leave people off with my 5 principles of training, if that's okay with you guys.
Of
Um,
course.
Go.
Please.
Let's do it.
So, if you're just getting into the gym, I think this will be super helpful. Or whether you're trying to get into like let's say bodybuilding and or strength training, and I don't mean these in the competitive aspects, but as far as like your goals, when people are going to the gym, they're not necessarily just trying to look good, but they're also trying to improve their strength, or their endurance. With CrossFit and stuff. So if you follow these five principles, you will probably be in a great standing. And that includes posture, more so for safety reasons. You want to make sure you have a good posture, feet shoulder length apart, your chest up. And of course, it changes depending on the workout you're about to do, but making sure your posture is on point. Breathing, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And there's definitely cues to it. Not to get too sciencey of it, but like when let's say you're working out and you're doing a shoulder press, right? Because I can do this here. You want to make sure you're breathing out when you want the power. Like when it comes to Bruce Lee or martial artists and they're throwing their punch, they're breathing out. That there's power within breathing. So you want to make sure you have all that oxygen in you, and when you're coming up, you're pushing your breath out, right? And then breathing in when you're coming back down. Breathe down, coming up, breathing in when you're coming back down. Same could go for squats and so forth, but it definitely depends on the workout you're trying to do. But breathing is very important because you don't want to get lightheaded. You don't want to have your face, your cherry red. So make sure you're breathing properly. Hydration, super important. Drinking, of course, H2O. Having a good sense of range of motion, from top to bottom, what that looks like. You don't want to go too high up or too low on a workout because that might tear something. And pacing yourself. So let's go through that again. We have posture, breathing, range of motion, hydration, and pace. And pace is twofold. Pace can be the tempo within the workout, how slow you're going through the negatives, 1, 2, 3, how fast you're going with the positive, but also pacing yourself on how heavy you're going, how often you're going. Pace yourself, right? Because you could do a little too much. So pace yourself on how heavy you're going throughout the week, how heavy you're making your jumps. If you're going to do a 100-pound squat, don't put 200 pounds on it, 300 pounds on it, because that's not practical. You're more likely to hurt yourself. So if you follow those 5 principles, you will find yourself being more confident in the gym. You'll find that consistency and that discipline coming along, and then you'll find yourself exactly where you want to be to meet your goals.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
There
I
you go.
remember the
Listen,
breathing.
See?
listen. I've been going to the gym for over a decade, but I definitely learned some things today, especially in this five
I'm more
principles.
than happy to
Thank
remind you. Just hit me up.
Thank you so much for that. Once again, y'all could follow and support, ask questions, maybe even have him as a coach. On
Please do.
Instagram, J__alpha. J__alpha. Javier, thank you so
Thank you
much for
for having me.
stopping by. We need to have you back again so we
Oh,
can get into some Sex in the City, some other
let's do
conversations,
it. I'm looking
get a
forward
little
to it.
more gritty with it,
Mhm.
and then have more fun and let it more loose. But thank you so much for stopping by because there's a lot of people that will be listening to this or watching this that may want to get into fitness, and
Yeah,
this definitely
I'm more
helps. So
than happy
thank
to
you so
help.
much. And reach out to the guy right here if you guys have any questions. Again, if guys want some coaching, that is on Instagram, J__alpha. As for us, you could find us on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. You can stream. A little like, a little subscription is free, goes a long way. Thank you guys so much for your support. We will see you guys next week, same place, same time.